phonetics, and English for academic purposes. Now we are into the next topic, that is today's session's topic, English for occupational purposes. I hope that the PPT is visible.
Yes, PPT is visible. You can proceed.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Thank you. So, participants, if you all have any doubts or if you need any clarifications, feel feel free to come out with the doubts for the clarifications. If not, we can proceed with the today's session. So, as we know that for communicating in English language, there are certain aspects that which are very very important, and as English language goes, the four skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing are mandatory. And in order to learn any language or in order to use any language effectively and efficiently, one has to master to some extent in these four skills. So we did discuss about linguistics, the aspects of linguistics, morphology, phonology, syntax, semantics, and all that. And then we even did discuss about the phonetic aspects of the English language, about the vowels, consonants, how it is produced, and how do we have to pronounce the language, and why pronunciation is important. All these aspects, linguistics or phonetics, all these are important in a language for the official forum, because when we are using a language, we have to ensure that it reaches the receiver in a proper way. So that is why every language has got its own structure, form, and set patterns. So now in the today's topic, English for the occupational purposes. So in academic purposes, we did saw like what are the ways in which that we can engage the students and how we can make them efficient in using the language skills. So till the school or till the university level, where we try to mold them, refine them, and design them so that where they feel confident enough to use the language in an effective way. So once they finish their degree courses and the university level courses, and once they move on to the occupational level, once they get into the job, even before entering the job, communication skill is a very, very important one. As everybody is into the teaching field, everybody would know the importance of the communication skills. So it is one of the important parameters where it is important for the getting a job or to getting into the field of occupation. So communication skills is like why it is important for the job. That's very simple. It's like in order to communicate to the other people in the uh, job ambience in the official in the official forum. So it is very very important. So even though we have knowledge, we have information and all that, only when we are able to communicate well, properly and efficiently, that an individual will be able to reach out the other people in the uh, job or other people in the places where they work. So when it comes to the occupational purposes, there are certain specific languages that which one has to learn. Uh, and here in occupational purposes, everything is official, and nothing can be related to the informal or the casual languages cannot be used. So that way, we have to ensure that in occupational purposes, in English for occupational purposes, people use all the official words and the official way of communicating things. So now to the topic of the discussion today, English for occupational purposes. So this actually talks about how the way in which we have to use the language in the work forum or in the professional forum or in the professional situations. So a student who has finished schooling and who has finished college, university and all that, till then, they might have just faced the teachers, they might have just spoke with the friends, the peer group, or they might have had very few situations where they have to come and forward and speak and communicate or address the gathering. and all that. To some extent, till the college level or till the university level or till the student level, we sometimes accept certain things where we will not restrain or will not try and find fault with each and every aspect or each and every word that which they use it. But in spite of all that, there are certain forums or there are certain restrictions and disciplines that which they have to follow. But when it comes to the job, they have to be doubly, triply careful with the language and with the words that which they have to use. So that is why this topic, the English for occupational purposes, has got its own importance and value. So it's again one of the important topics of this present time and of this present era. So it is often considered to be one of two main subdivisions of English for specific purposes. So we normally approach English for specific purposes, and one there are two main divisions. The one is English for academic purposes, that which we discussed yesterday, and the other one is English for occupation purposes, that which we'll be discussing today. So occupation, job, work forum, official is like going to be in and out entirely the formal language that which one has to learn and that which one has to use it. So, a student getting into the job forum must understand the value and the importance of the official language. That is more important. So, even all those aspects to a certain limit or to a certain level will be discussed or will be judged or will be seen even in the interview level. Even there, the interviewer will be able to judge whether one particular candidate or that one person is uh, having the efficiency in the language or not. So, so what is English for occupational purposes? And here is the definition according to Caesar, and as given definition in the year 2004. So Caesar has defined English for occupational purposes as a recent and developing branch of English language teaching. So English language teaching, when we look into the branch or the area of English language teaching, it is wide, it is vast, and it is there for so many decades and so many centuries. But when we look into the areas of ESP, that is English for specific purposes, and English for academic purposes, and English for occupational purposes, these are very, very recent development, and these are very, very new contemporary topics that which has gained a lot of importance. Why these have gained importance, like English for specific purpose, academic purpose, or occupational purpose? Because in a country like India, English is an official language, and English is a language that which left by the Britishers when they ruled us for so many centuries, for around 300 years. So when they left the English language with us, and we retained. Yes. Hello. Okay, so we retained, and the policy makers, the decision makers of that period, they felt that we have to retain the language even when the Britishers left, because in order to keep us get connected or to be in touch with the rest of the world. So to be in touch with the rest of the world, English language was important or it was mandatory then. Even today, it is important in the same way or even in a little higher level. And that is why even today, like we are talking about these concepts called English language teaching, specific purpose, and all that. So English language teaching has its own values and demands and needs, even in the contemporary period. But these areas, it just developed in the recent times, occupational purposes, academic purposes, and all that. But into the broader aspect, it was there even earlier. So, which aims to meet occupational English language needs of learners in their occupational settings. So, it's specifically for the occupational settings. So, when an individual gets into the job, when an individual gets into a company or any other job, where they should be in a position to use the language the way in which it is needed in the official forum. So that itself requires a special training. For example, when we are into the job, we cannot speak like a, to some extent, even a teacher and the student language has some formal settings, but it has to be even more formal when it comes to the job market or when it comes to the official forum or the occupational forum in the offices or institutions or any places that which is the occupational settings. So in such case, an individual must be aware of the language, must be aware of the words in which that they have to communicate. So this is what the definition by the CSA says. And now about the graduation university. So once they get graduated, once they get the graduation certificate, then that is the place like where from that point they move on to the next step in their life career for the professional careers. So when they become professionals, it is more important as a professional to use the language in an effective way. So there is a change in the role of a student. When they get into the professional career, they are no more a student. They are a professional. So in such case, professionalism is demanded in all the aspects. Professionalism in the way they speak, professionalism in the words, professionalism in the body language, professionalism in all the aspects. So we are actually grooming or designing or helping the students to refine themselves to meet out the demands in the professional careers. So when we're teaching English for occupational purposes, we have to ensure that the courses are designed in order to help the students communicate effectively in the professional situations. That effective communication, being efficient enough to communicate effectively is more important. And now, even though 10 or hundreds of people meet out or go and attend the interview, it's only very hardly a few gets into the next level, and it's just only a one or two or three will get the job. And for such people, if we look at, it will be their communication skills because that is one of the most important parameter when it comes to the job. How well a person is able to communicate, how well a person is able to transfer the information or give the knowledge or give the fact or how well they are able to execute things. So for all these, communication plays a vital role. For example, there can be 10 people with the 99 percentage of marks or with the distinction and all that. But who moves on to the next level is the person who is good in communication because that is the important aspect in the job forum. So that is why there are certain courses that which are specifically designed for the occupational purposes with respect to communicating in the English language. So I hope that we have discussed about the base of English for occupational purposes, and I hope that it has reached. If at all anybody has any doubts or need any clarifications, can ask. Okay, and now to the English language communication. So how do we have to communicate? So we have to be adequate for handling all business. Adequate here talks about the vocabulary strength, the grammar strength, the pronunciation aspect, and the confidence level of the individual who uses the language. They have to feel equipped. They should feel that they can communicate. They should feel that they'll be able to communicate well what they wanted to say in the common forum or in the official forum. So this is all related to the business or even in the social situations. So social situations where if we have stepped out of the institution or the university or the college, so it is obviously the society that which an individual has to face. Society in different aspects. So at all levels and in all parameters, where the person has to be equipped enough to meet the demands and to face it and to overcome all the needs. So fulfill all the needs. So even that is more important. And this also involves both the native and the non-native speakers of English. Why here native and non-native? For example, we are all non-native speakers of English. But in the international forum, when we move on to the other countries like US or UK or Australia, like where they are the native speakers of English. So when we are speaking with the native speakers of English, their pronunciation, their style, and all that might differ. So in such case, a student or anybody who gets into the international forum must be in a position that they are able to understand and they are able to communicate or transfer or convey the message that to which they wanted to. Because here or now it is no more the distance that which splits it. That is why we started calling the whole world as the global village. So nothing is far, and no distance is a very big distance these days. Either may not be in this pandemic time, but for the rest of the time, like where in few hours where we were able to reach any part of the world, or through technology that we are able to connect ourselves even at this point of a time, through technology that we are able to connect to people at any part of the world. So that is what matters a lot. So these are the situations or these are the circumstances that which demands a very good language skill, and that too especially the English language communication skills. As we have said, it is one of the most spoken language on earth, and it is again the official language for most of the people. And for example, like why do they have to communicate well in the English language, or why do they have to have good communication skills? It is all when it comes to the official forum where they have to write letters or they do have to write any memoranda or meetings where when they attend such meetings they have to make note of certain points or they have to prepare the minutes or they have to prepare the reports and all that. And even when it comes to the oral presentations in a meeting or in a discussion, when there is a discussion in a group or in a panel of people, where one individual must be in a position that they are able to respond to the discussion that which is happening in the forum at that point of a time. So for all these English language is more important, and specifically the occupational purpose, the language for the occupational purposes is very important. And even social interactions with colleagues and business clients. So it's just not always that we'll be officially talking with our colleagues or with the business clients. At times, we also look at them or meet them or discuss with them as a social being. That means to be able to have a common, casual, normal social interactions with the colleagues or even with the business clients. Because after all, we are all the human beings. First, it's the human beings, and next comes the all the official designations and all that. So, as a human being, as a man, we should be in a position to interact or to talk with the people even in the official sector. So these are the importance or these are the reasons like why we have to have the effective communication skills. I hope I'm making it clear. If at all any clarifications needed, you can please feel free to come up with the doubts. And next is the demand for English for occupational purposes. Why there is a demand, and when even like as we all of us are into the official forum or into the occupational settings, we would know uh, how English plays a role and how important it is and how vital it is. And there are very few people, so sorry to say, that just because of this communication skills that they lack, they are not placed or they don't get placed. So know that. So it plays an important role in the life, in the society, or like everywhere. So such is the demand that which English for occupation purposes has created or it is there. So the demand for English for occupation purposes is deemed to grow proportionally to the universal demand for employees. For example, even before like we started discussing about this aspect, every year, let's take our country or let's take our state. Every year, thousands and lakhs of students they step out of the institutions, they step out of the college and the universities. But what is the conversion rate of the students to the employee? So again, there is a very big gap. And why is that gap? The students will have the degree, will have the percentage, will have the marks, but what do they lack? They lack the communication skills, and particularly in the English language, as because English is the lingua franca, that which is the one of the most spoken language, the official language. So because of this, so many students that they are unable to transfer them as an employee from a student to the employee cadre or to the employee category. So this is the demand, this is the need that which English language has created. Some people might feel, why should I learn the language or what is the purpose? And I am a non-native speaker of English and I don't belong to this. Excuse me, please. I don't belong to this field and all that. But English has become a kit and kin, or it has become a mandatory, or it has become a basic aspect in order to be in the society in a refined level, or even to get into the job and also to develop. Excuse me, please. There's one participant who hasn't muted, so please to mute the mic so that there is no disturbance. Thank you. So the demand that which grows, and that is why people has to learn the language in an effective way because the importance, the value is tremendous, and it has got a lot of weightage. Again, English and also communicating in English has got a lot of weightage with respect to the job market or the job pool. Again, so what do they have to do? So people will be skilled, they'll be knowledgeable, they'll have distinctions, they'll have 90 plus or 80 plus percentage and all that. But even though they have the knowledge, they should be in a position to convey or to transfer or to give their knowledge through this language called English. Because English is the official language and that is the mode or the medium of communication. So that is why we have to learn the language. So for that, in their field of specialization, the field can be anything. So the training in higher education institutions, like why we are discussing about all this, even in the new colleges and all that, participants. So it is more important that in the higher education institutions, they give a lot of importance in making their students learn or use the language effectively. But on the other hand, it's just not the role of the higher education institutions alone. Language can be learned when they are young, when the students are young. So it is a role of even the school teachers or the primary teachers, like where they make the students learn the language and they slowly develop their skill. So training in higher education institutions, which aim to produce students with a vocational skill set. So when they're equipped, when they're knowledgeable, that they should be in a position to occupy or to get a job or to explain some concepts or ideas, their research and all that. So in such case, it is very, very important. So it should ideally include the teaching and learning of. So for all these aspects, for all these needs and demands, that we have to ensure that we teach and learn the English for occupational purpose. The language, the words, the phrases, the sentences, all these are very, very important. And again, how these can be learned. Again, with only with those four skills, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So only with these four skills, anything is possible. And how they can do, like where they can listen to the English news and they can read English newspapers. On the other hand, they should also ensure that they listen to proper news channels and good English newspapers, or even they can even read any books, any good books that which gives knowledge, and also make them to learn that language. Participants, those who are joining, please ensure that you mute the audio. If you have any doubts or clarifications needed, you can unmute and come out with the doubts. Otherwise, please mute the audio. So now it is the English for the specific purposes. So as we did discuss about this aspect a little earlier, like the specific purposes actually covers the situation where the students are studying English for work-related reasons. For example, if they are facing an interviewer in the final year of their degree course, how do they have to face the interviewer? How do they have to introduce themselves? And what are the aspects that which they have to include? What are the information that which they have to do? So all these are mandatory, and even choosing of the words, using the vocabularies, even those are very much important because they cannot just like that go and talk to an interviewer as the way they go and talk to a friend or to some other person. It has to be more formal and it has to be to some extent perfect. So all this has to be tuned and trained even while they are in the higher education institutions. So all the courses or anything has to be based on the analysis of specific communicative needs. So how to write a letter, how to write a formal letter, or how to make notes in a meeting, or how to prepare minutes of a meeting, or how to do an oral presentation, or how to do a group discussion, how to take part in the group discussion, and even in the discussion, they just like that should not shout or should not keep quiet all the time or should not dominate all the time. It should be like they have to wait for the chance and they have to make use of the chance. The same time, they have to ensure that they give a proper response. And in group discussion, if we take it, the person who initiates will get more points. And again, on the other hand, the person who connects the ideas gets more points. And likewise, the person who sums up also gets more points. So these are small aspects, but very important when it comes to the occupation setting or when it comes to the job, the interview. So when we are training them and when we are tuning them with all these aspects, definitely a student will be able to uh, get a good job in the job market when they attend the interviews. I hope it is clear. If not, can come out with the doubts if you don't have anything. And now to the professional field. So a professional field or profession, as the word says, it just shows that we have to equip ourselves, we have to be prepared, or we have to be efficient enough to use it in an effective way. So in the professional field, the emphasis, the importance is given to the language and the communication requirements in a particular, for example, if they are into the teaching field, they might require certain words, or into the technical field, they might require some other words, the genres or the other words related to that particular domain, or medicine, or any other science, or any other technical field. So depending on the profession and depending on the domain in which they work, they have to ensure that they know the vocabulary and that they are able to communicate respectively without any hindrance or without any problems or hurdles. So this field, the specific language communication training enables participants to master relevant communication. So once when they are given a training and once they are trained, where they'll be able to master themselves in that particular field or in that particular domain. So that's what we call it as master relevant communication. We will leave out all the irrelevant pattern or the irrelevant content or the irrelevant way. They just learn that which is needed for their profession, for their domain and all that. The rest will come automatically. But when we're giving them the training, it is specifically for the field that which they are going to step into. So the relevant communication and also the professional skills. So any profession that which they step in, so those professions will demand certain skills, will demand certain knowledge, will demand certain uh, efficiency. So where they should be in a position they're able to meet all those demands. So and in doing meet the needs of industry locally and internationally. As now this is the time, as I told you earlier, it's a global village and we have to get connected to the rest of the world and all that. Just not that locally alone that we have to keep in touch with people in the official forum or in the forum. They should be in a position like where they're even able to communicate with the clients or the customers or with the business people, even from other countries, even internationally. So when they will have the confidence, when they will feel that they are able to communicate, only when they are equipped with convenient English language. So that is the importance. Excuse me. So that is the importance that which English language has gained in all these decades or in all these centuries. So now to the aspect of the knowledge. So as we discussed earlier, there will be so many people who is very good in knowledge, who has got a lot of sense with respect to the knowledge, information, knowledge in particular fields. But where do they lack? They lack in the communication. So that is where they have to ensure that they're able to communicate properly or give the information properly. So it is the knowledge and the technical. They will know things and which is important, which is not, and all that. But they should be in a position where they are able to present in an effective way in the excellent standard. So here the matter is the standard, and on the other hand, it is the excellent standard of how well that they are able to present themselves. So when they present themselves in an effective way, obviously they will have a chance to develop or to grow in their field, to grow in their professional careers. They can reach greater heights if they're able to present themselves in the excellent standard. And that is possible only when they are very good in the communication skills. So it is the knowledge and the communication skills both has a equal weightage. We cannot say just with the communication skills that people will reach greater heights. No, knowledge is also important. Same time, communication is also important. Both has got equal weightage. We cannot say that which is one is more and the other one is less. No, both are equally important. So success is not only based on what you know, but also on how you can communicate. So the way in which, how do we present ourselves? How do we reach others? Or how do we make others listen to us? And how do we take or transfer the information to the people who listen? So even that is very, very important. And communication skills are considered one of the best career enhancers. So someone who reaches greater heights in their career, in their field, or in the domain, or in their job, in their occupational setup, and all that, such people or such person or such individual will be very good in communication skills. Only they can reach greater heights, not the other people. So sorry, it is not a kind of a discrimination, but then this is more important. Reaching greater heights in the career, communication skills is very, very important. And the evidence suggests that employees in all occupational fields place greater value on employees' communication skills than they do on their technical skills. This again, we have discussed little earlier, even in the interview or the employer who comes and take up any employees in their institution, they will ensure they are very good in their communication skills. And only then they look out for the technical skills or the rest of the knowledge. And this has been rated as a top priority for both securing a job and retaining the employment. So, as we said, even in the interview, even in making an entry into a job or making an entry into a position, communication is very, very important. And after entering, we cannot say or we cannot rest assured, okay, fine, I have got a job and so I can just relax myself, enjoy myself. I need not update, I need not improve and all that. even to retain an employment, even to retain in a job, either to retain in a position or to develop from that position to the next level, to the next higher level. Even in that level or even at that point, communication plays a very, very vital role. That is very, very important. Excuse me, I think like there are just a few minutes left. I think that we can participate. So I think that we can continue with what we were discussing. So we were talking about the knowledge and the importance of the communication skills and all that. So communication is important not just to enter into the job, but even to retain the employment. So it is more important. So to retain employment and also to improve or enhance or reach greater heights, communication is very, very important. So now it is the importance of English for occupational purpose, like why it is important and all that. So as we know that English is important, we have to improve, we have to use it in a proper way, we have to know the official language and all that. So here, the specific vocabularies, as we said earlier, related to the domain, related to the field, or related to the profession, that they need to know the vocabularies that which they have to use it. Or it is also related to the industry and also to the functional area and understand how to employ such vocabulary in specific situations. So it is just not enough if when they know the vocabularies, when they know the words. They should also know how to use it in a effective way and how to use it in a specific situation. Even the value behind that they have to know, or they should be in a position that they are able to use it in an effective way. So just by memorizing the vocabularies or just by knowing the meaning of the words, it is not enough. They should be in a position like where how they have to structure, how they have to form, or how they have to convey messages in that specific situation and use appropriate style and tone for professional discussion. And again, when it is the official forum or the professional forum, like there are certain styles that which we have to adopt and that which we have to use it. We cannot be so casual, we cannot be so lenient. We have to ensure that the style is accepted and that is accepted in the official. Style here doesn't refer to the external style. It refers to the way in which we use the language or the way in which we convey the message or the words or the sentence structure or the sentence phrases and the clauses that which we use it. Style here purely related to the language usage and the tone, in which tone that we use it. Not that always that we have to be submissive or not that always that we have to be dominating. Like it depends. It depends on the situation and it depends on the position. Again, depending on that, we have to ensure that the proper tone, the proper intonation, the proper pitch and all that is being used. I think we did discuss about pitch, intonation and all that when we discussed about the phonetics in the earlier sessions and convert the technical knowledge into compelling presentations and reports. For example, like when they step out of the college, they'll be so good with the knowledge, with the patience, with everything. But they should be in a position like where they're able to present in the format or do present as a presentation for a official gathering or in a official forum or even to do a presentation in a meeting or even to do a presentation in a discussion. So they should be ready to convert their technical knowledge into the presentation. And same, they should be in a position where they're able to give a report of the technical knowledge or the technical capacity that which any individual has got it. Again, conversion is more important. If a person is not able to convert their knowledge into presentations and reports, then again, to some extent, it is a failure in their part as a professional, and that which that may not be, they may not be in a position to reach the other grades in the official setup or in the official course. And to enhance productivity, top performance, and self-confidence. So productivity here talks about like how productive that they are in the institution, or how productive that they are in the country or the factory and all that. How well that they are able to come out with the result. So that is what. And again, in performing the jobs, how well they perform them, or how well they perform good. And then again, the self-confidence. When you look at the people, those who are able to communicate well, and the same when you look at the people, those who are good in the knowledge, but when they lack the confidence of communicating well in the English, then such people, if you see that they'll not come out, or they'll not come to the common forum, or they'll feel shy, they'll feel hesitant and all that. So this is one of the important aspects at which an individual in the occupational setup has to know. So for gaining a self-confidence, speaking well in English is more important. It is not a matter of bombastic vocabularies or new words or different style or trying to be like a native speakers and all that. It is more of making it more formal, and it is more of reaching the people in the official forum. So even that will give a confidence to the people. And then again, advance in one's career. So with that, that they'll be able to reach next heights. And it is again for English for specific purposes, the needs of the learners. The teacher and the learner should narrow down their purposes, and accordingly they have to learn things. We cannot make a person learn almost more vocabularies, more thousands and thousands. They have to be very specific in their needs, to which field that they are going to get into, and what will be the demand and what will be the need, and depending on that, they have to equip themselves. And this English for specific purposes has got a lot of methodologies, and it has got a lot of activities. It depends on the discipline, the field in which they work. So depending on that, they will actually have to work on it. And next is centered on the language appropriate. So the language appropriate to the activities which is related to the terms of grammar, the words, lexis means words, register, the way in which they transfer or convey message, the study skills, the discourse that they're able to communicate well, and also the genre. All these, I think, like these aspects we did discuss in the linguistics, we did discuss in the phonetics, and also more in the academic purposes. So even these would help a person to equip themselves and also to develop in their professional field. And this is by Julie Evans and St. John, where they have set or they have designed certain specific disciplines. And they said English for specific purposes will give teaching for a specific situations, and a different methodology will be used. We cannot teach the way we teach the general English. When we teach a student a general English, it will be entirely different if we are teaching a student for the occupational purposes or specific purposes or academic purposes. This point, even in yesterday's session, we did saw when we were discussing about the English for academic purposes. When we are teaching English for academic purposes, even there we saw that English cannot be taught as a general English. So teaching a general English is entirely different from teaching English for specific or academic or occupational purposes. And then and all these are according to Dewey and Evans. So then it is likely to be designed for adult learners, either at a tertiary level institution or in a professional work situation. So here, when it comes to the occupational purposes, it is more of the adult learners, where the learners they will not be in primary, high school, or higher secondary, where they'll be in the college or after the college. So those people will be the adult learners. So we have to ensure that the teachers or the content reaches the adult learners, and it is the tertiary level institution as well, like higher education institutions, or in the professional work situation. So they have to know such vocabularies, they have to know such structures, they have to know how to communicate well in an occupational purposes. And it will, however, be for learners at secondary school level. But when we look at certain board of education, they train the students even at the high secondary level. So even if you look at the higher secondary level, it is not more of a general English that which teaches the literature. Rather, it is more of the English that which is helpful for them to be in the professional, like note making, note taking, letter writing, comprehension, and all that. More of a literature, it is more of the language that which is being taught even at the secondary school level. But there are certain boards that which focuses only on the language, not on the literature more. Maybe literature will be there, but the weightage given to the literature is little lesser than the weightage given for the language aspect. So not just in the tertiary level institution, even in the secondary level institutions or in the higher secondary level institutions, these language, these approaches, these purposes can be fulfilled or we can start teaching. Then this is generally designed for intermediate or advanced students. As we said earlier in the previous, it is for the adult learners and for the advanced level. No more there will be a normal level of teaching or the basic level of teaching or the entry level of teaching. Here the teaching will be in the advanced level, as how they have to draft a letter or write a memorandum, prepare the minutes, prepare a report, prepare a presentation, all that. So it will be little advanced in their learning and execution. And then it is the specific courses assume some basic knowledge of language system, but it can be used with the beginners. So even though we concentrate more on the advanced level, so even then, some basic language system can be taught, and that which is used in the beginning, and that which is used for the beginners. Because when they even enter into the official forum or the occupation center, we cannot say that they are well equipped, they are quite efficient, they're quite informative, informed and all that. So for such entry level, where we can teach the basic concepts of the language system, that which is needed. So these are the aspects or these are the points that which we have to make note when we are teaching English for the occupational purposes. So this topic as it has got a very great weightage and even as I said earlier in the last class, like how teaching English or teaching the spoken English or teaching soft skills as all that has become a kind of a business. Even this teaching English for occupational purposes is also a kind of a business. But all these are treated or trained when students going for exams like TOEFL, IELTS, or any other exams at which they try to take it in the international level, or when they want to get into uh, either do a higher studies in other countries or to get into the job in the other countries. So these are the important points that which we have to have in mind when we are teaching the students, when we are making them to equip themselves in order to face the occupational sector or to be in the occupation world. So yes, participants, I hope to some extent I have briefed you about the purposes, the importance, the needs, the demands of English for occupation purposes. If you need any clarification or if there is any doubt, could please feel free to clarify the doubts. So does anyone have any doubts with regarding to the ideas and the topic that which we have discussed today?
The
Ma'am,
participants,
excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening, Doc. How are you?
Uh, Fine, ma'am. Ma'am, you said we want to use vocabularies according to our job-related orientations. So, as a teacher, how can I improve the vocabularies?
Okay, see, uh, anybody who wants to improve the vocabulary, first step, we should not get into the dictionary, as I told you earlier. Okay, so it is just not memorizing 4 words a day or memorizing 2 words a day will not help us. What we have to do is we have to listen more, we have to read. Just don't restrict yourself just by reading the textbooks or just by reading the books that which is related to your subject and all that. Read general books, read magazines, read journals, and as
Yes,
we read, we will come across lot of new words. Okay,
yes,
and
ma'am.
in yesterday's class, in yesterday's session we did discuss about how do we have to do. We have to try and find out the meaning depending on the context, and then we have to try and find out, analyze what will be the meaning of that word. And the last step is getting into the dictionary. So as we do a continuous reading and as we do a continuous listening, definitely or automatically we will learn new words. So please don't memorize the words and please don't try to use that. Okay, that will not work. I feel like
Okay, ma'am.
from the
Okay.
knowledge and from my experience, that is what I have learned, and that is what I have said by my teachers. Just by memorizing will not suffice. That is more like memorizing a grammar rule and trying to apply it. That will not work. And as how we learned more words in the mother tongue by using the language. So as we read, as we use, we learn a lot, and we have to listen more. So read newspapers.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
I want my children to read some English books. Which
Okay.
book can I prefer to them, ma'am?
Okay.
They are
So
a
to
seventh standard, sixth standard kids.
okay, sixth and seventh standard. Okay, fine. So there will be some short stories. Okay, not the
Ma'am,
stories
excuse me, ma'am. Your
just
voice
for
is
the
not
rhymes.
clear.
Yes. Okay, see, there will be some abridged versions of short stories or small essays.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, if you get into the bookshops, good bookshops, like we will find certain short stories that which just runs for about a few tens of 50 or hundreds pages, not more than 100 pages. Okay, or not more than not number
Okay,
of pages
okay, ma'am.
exceeding 100. Okay, and the language should be little simple, so let them try with the Indian writers first. Let
Okay,
them
ma'am.
get used to the Indian language writers, and then they can move on to the international level writing. Then it becomes easy for them.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Yes. Anybody else? Okay. If anybody has got any doubts, you can come out with the doubts. Otherwise, we will end this session and we can meet tomorrow for the English for the creative of this. And as I told you earlier, participants, it's a request that just by these sessions will not suffice enough. And these are just the interaction of all these areas to be discussed. And all these are vast area. So please ensure that you get exposed to the language on an everyday basis and learn the language on an everyday basis. And to some extent, extra effort is needed. Things will not come to us easily. And if it comes to us easily, it will not stay with us for a longer time. So please make some little more effort and learn and ensure that you improve your communicating language. And on the other hand, it is not a matter of where we have studied, where we are, and all that. It is just a matter of effort and it's just a matter of time. Effort and time will definitely take us to the